see. Are we live? Ooh. Let's see. Are we live? Are we live? Let's see. Are we live? Are we live? Are we live?
I don't know if I'm live yet or not. It's kind of. I don't know if I'm live yet or not. New to this right now. I don't know if I'm live yet. New to this right now. I don't know if I'm live yet. New to this right now. I don't know if I'm live yet. It says new to this right now. New to this right now. Okay. Yeah, I guess I'm working. Okay, this is working. Anyway, I don't know about the chat stuff. Anyway, I don't know. I've been kind of experimenting around with this. I've been kind of experimenting around with this. I've been kind of experimenting around with this. Great state of Iowa. Great state of Iowa. No, it's Iowa. Of course it is. Great state of Iowa.
We have very beautiful land here.
Of course it is.
There is some boring sections. We have very beautiful land here.
Of course, the
state doesn't have boring sections. We have very beautiful land here.
Of course, the state doesn't
Look
have
at
boring
Nevada.
sections. Anyway, I was doing some stuff for a different network. I was doing some stuff a different network. I was doing some stuff. I did it through Zoom, and they broadcasted live. I never got to see the Zooms or anything like that. Broadcasted live. People were watching me Zooms or anything like that. I was trying to run for Congress here in Iowa. Second congressional district. It's actually Hinton, but didn't really get any support. So, financing is everything. You live paycheck life. Majority of us Americans paycheck life. Majority of us Americans kind of what I did on that. I just went in. I get into everything. What I did on that. I just anything and everything. I get into everything. Just kind of like let's chat thing. I get into everything. Just kind of like let's chat thing. I get just kind of join up. Let's chat thing. Actually have chats. That would be great. I'd love to chats. That would be great. Chats. Anyway, I guess, I've been into the geopolitical aspect. I've been into the geopolitical aspect. I guess I was, but I wasn't. My parents were Democrats. I guess I was, but I was a union guy, so Democrats. I guess I go with what the union guy, which wasn't really that bad. Go with what the union guy, which wasn't really that bad. After 9/11, that really kind of woke me up. I did have the. That really kind of woke me up. I did have the. How the fuck do I say this? I did the unfortunate timing in my life. Unfortunate that the Clintons were across all of Iowa and stuff like that. They stopped in my hometown across all of Iowa. I unfortunately got to shake the hands of Bill and Hillary Clinton. I swear. I think that's where my luck just ran out. I think that's where my luck just ran out. I think that's where my luck just ran out. I think that's where my dream, fun to dream. So, I think that's where my dream, fun to dream. Anyway, I grew out of that, realized how bad Bill was. Anyway, I grew out of that, it really kind of turned me around. Anyway, I grew out of that, really kind of questioned anything and everything. Which is really ironic when I started questioning a lot of things my dad was. Which is really ironic when I started questioning a lot of things my dad was. Which is really ironic when I started questioning a lot of things my dad was. He was our Army Specialist, Army Specialist, Army Security Agency, I think it was called. Army Specialist, Army Security Agency. He was stationed on Hawaii, dealt with Army Security Agency. He was stationed on Hawaii. Intelligence, classified stuff, had 4 eyes only. Intelligence, classified stuff, had 4 eyes only. So, intelligence, classified stuff, had 4 So he was still blinded by it. I kind of had a conversation with him towards the end of his life. I kind of had a conversation. How can you not think the government's out to get us? I mean, I know you've seen the government. You've had to have seen these documents that you've had to have seen these documents that prove otherwise. You've had to have seen these documents. He served during the Vietnam era. He served during the Vietnam era. He got to Hawaii. That was as close as he got to Vietnam. He really got to Hawaii. That's as close as he got to. Said he was in intelligence. So he would have been probably in Cambodia or something like that. He would have been probably in Cambodia. But enough about that. My biggest beef, I guess, growing up, realizing my biggest beef, I guess, growing up, going through my biggest beef, I guess, growing up, going Trump cases. Trump and everything. I'm just fascinated with the Constitution. There was everything. I'm just fascinated with the Constitution. There was everything. That the Constitution was fluid. That the Constitution was for interpretation. That way. I am 100% wrong on this. 100% wrong on this. No, it's not. That whole invention of that. No, it's not. Line of thinking was through Woodrow Wilson. No, it's not. Line of thinking was through Woodrow Wilson. One of the, by far one of the worst presidents we've ever had. One of the, by far one of the worst presidents we've ever had. One of the, by far one of the worst where he directed our nation, and it's still we're still feeling directed our nation. His effects. He wrote a paper about talking about the Constitution being not. It's fluid. It should change. About talking about the Constitution. It's actually not. It is black and white. It's actually not. It is. And this is where it gets into where I start really disliking judges. This is where it gets into where I start really disliking judges. Goes way back in time. So judges goes way back. Maybe a different story for a different time. Maybe a different story. These the judges, they're terrible. So the judges, damn cat distracted me again. So I got a cat that sits right here. He likes to sit here sometimes. So I got a cat that sits right here. Very affectionate kitty. Sit here sometimes. So I got a cat that sits right here. Very affectionate kitty. And he's orange too. That's what gets me. He's an orange cat. And he's orange too. But yeah, the Constitution is black and white. The Supreme Court really screws a lot of this up when they're trying to interpret. The Supreme Court really screws a lot of this Constitution. Talking about Constitution. And everything. We have the Constitution. We have the Federalist and Anti-Federalist papers that give you the whole blueprint on how at least the main body of the Constitution is going to work, and through the first 10 amendments, the Bill of Rights. Now after that, we do have legislation to justify. Now after that, we do have a lot of these amendments should be carried out. Some, not so much. Not so much. 14th Amendment. Some of the Reconstruction amendments really got kind of. Some of the Reconstruction amendments, you could have worded them a hell of a lot better. Some of them don't even. You could have worded them a hell of a lot. For the most part, the 14th Amendment does. Some of them don't even. You could have worded them a hell. For the most part, the 14th Amendment does. Some of them don't even. We've repealed other amendments. We should repeal some of our others. Another thing big into trying to push is another thing really big into have constitutional convention. We need to do something constitutional convention. So we can leave all that stuff at different times, different subjects, stuff like that. Leave all that stuff at different times. I am very anti-judgmental to a lot of this. I am very anti-judgmental. A lot of what we see, a lot of these narratives, it comes down to a lot of what we see, a lot of these judicial system. It comes down to judges themselves. Not the judicial system. It comes down to judges. Not the judicial system. It comes down to judges. It is what it is. But it is a broken. It is a broken system. It's what it's not a perfect system. It's never been. It is a broken system. It's what it's not a perfect. You guys will see me. I will be trying to stream here a little bit more. You guys will see me. I will be trying to stream here about an hour or whatever. I do drink a lot of milk. I do drink a lot of milk. I do drink a lot of milk. Kind of gave up on alcohol and that because it really kind of gave up on alcohol. Not been a good friend of mine over the past years. So I drink a lot of milk. Whole milk. So I drink a lot of milk. Better for you. We do whole milk. I drink a lot of milk for you. That does sell raw milk. It is I really wish we could get this pushed a little bit more national. I really wish RK Junior this pushed a little bit more national. I really wish RK Junior. I do vape tubes of whatever censor's going to censor, we'll censor. Whatever censor. We'll see how this goes. I guess some of my other clips at point in time have been kicked off of TikTok. I guess some of my other clips with this other group so been kicked off of TikTok. Some of my other clips I don't mind with this other group piss them off. I don't mind with this other group piss them off. I don't mind with this other. My puppy's wandering around here. She won't get too wound up. My puppy's wandering around here. She won't get too my puppy's see that I'm right behind me. She's scared to death behind the screen. She's a pit bull, big, mean, strong, 65 pounds of pure muscle, scared to death of her own shadow. 65 pounds of pure muscle, scared to death of her own shadow. I've had her for 4 years now. We do have a puppy on shadow. Cats too, 4 years now. We do have a puppy on cats. They hunt, which is great. We do live in town, which is regrettably, which is great. We do live in town. Move outside of town, which is great. We do live in town. Do some move outside of town. Gardening projects, but let's get into a little bit more of stuff that's going on. I will talk a little bit more about Iowa stuff that's going on. Right now, Congress is out of session. We do have a governor's race coming out of session. We do have a governor's stepping down. Thank God. We do have stepping down. I can get into a little bit on her. I can get into a little bit on. I really just. The whole COVID thing really really got me, and like I said, I really like to abide by the Constitution. Really got me, and like I said, I really pissed me off, especially really got the elections coming up. It really pissed me off 2024 here coming up. It really pissed Iowa. We kick it all off. We had DeSantis and Iowa. DeSantis out there bragging about how how well he did at reopening. DeSantis out there bragging about Kim Reynolds, our governor here in Iowa, just bragging about getting things reopened here in Iowa. It's just get things reopened. It really pisses me off that you even have to say that. If I did have any money, I would have liked to. If I did have class action lawsuit against the governor for shutting down the economy. You do not shut down mom-and-pop stores because of a virus. Because you want to call it. You can't stop people from going to church. That is a First Amendment. You can't stop people from going to church. And for the most part, you took away our right to free travel. So you have violated the First Amendment. You took away our right to free travel. Of our Constitution. You have violated the First Amendment. You took away our right to free travel. Of our Constitution. You have violated. In hindsight, they know they really screwed up. In hindsight, they know they. I did not fall for it. In hindsight, they know precursors in 2019 that shows that precursors in 2019 that shows there's a lot of shady things. We're doing too well. They had to do something to Trump. They had to derail what was going on. They had to do something to Trump. They had to derail. More and more coming to light. Especially with DNI Tulsi Gabbard. More coming to light. Releasing this wonderful stuff. More coming to light. Releasing this. What I do believe is the stuff that they were looking for in the Mar-a-Lago race. The stuff that they were looking for in the Mar-a-Lago. Radcliffe and Patel, they were rushing towards the last few days. Last week in the Oval Office, in the White House, days of trying to get all this stuff declassified as much as trying to get all this stuff. And that's all this was over. The whole Mar-a-Lago raid was after one. And that's all this one thing only. And that was that damn briefcase or whatever, the file. And that was that damn of what's being released, the file. And now of what's being I just seen. And now if we just found another file or something like that. And now we just found another file or something like that. But over here, yeah, FBI just caught buried another thumb drive. The thumb drive sitting around collecting dust for 6 years. Another thumb drive. The thumb drive sitting around collecting dust for 6 years. Another thumb drive. The thumb drive sitting. These stories come out and they wonder why they. These stories come out and they wonder why. Absolutely zero confidence in these people. Absolutely in the FBI. You know, and I love to. You know, and I love to. You know, they want you to sit here and say, but they want you to sit here and say, but they want you to sit here and say, the rank and file FBI agents, the rank and file CIA agents, you know, the ones that are out there being rank and file agents, you know, the ones putting in the legwork, getting shit done, you know, they're out shit done, they're great people, they're out shit done, and this doesn't affect that. This doesn't affect that. This just affects the executive level. This is just the doesn't affect that. This just affects the executive level. This is just the doesn't affect that. Bull. Because this bull. Even the rank and file FBI agent, the guy that's even the rank and file doing the computer diagnostics or whatever, going through these files and finding and seeing these smoking gun things, these files and seeing it, you put out your report saying, hey, this is what's going on. Then this is what's going on. You see, you put that down the line. You put that in your report. And then you see that they took exactly what you said and twisted it around, and that they took exactly falsified what you said. And then it keeps going up and down the line. Why aren't you standing up for your own work? Why aren't you standing up for your own work? I've been a blue collar worker my whole life. I've been a blue collar worker my whole life. I work on cars. A good majority of my time I've been. I work on cars. Automotive technician. The majority of my time I've been. I work automotive technician. The majority. Pay attention to detail. This is technician. Pay attention to detail. It just can't be run this way. It just can't be run this way. See. Here I run into my problems where my mind just went. It went blowing off in 5 million different directions. It went blowing off in 5 million different directions. It went blowing off in 5 million different directions. It went blowing off in 5 million. Anyway, what I was getting at is, you know, these peons down that are doing all the legwork and stuff like that. Peons down that are doing all. They know their shit's being messed with. They see. They know their shit's being messed with. They see. They know their shit's being messed with down the line. Why aren't they? They know their shit's. Granted, I get it. I get it. We have zero whistleblower protection. Zero across the whole nation. Chuck Grassley, our great senator from, not great senator. Our senator from, our senator from, I do believe. I think he's 94. He's always wanted whistleblower protection, and he's always wanted. There's so much retaliation when you do a whistleblower thing. There's so much retaliation when you do a whistleblower thing. I was subsequently fired, given no reason why I was fired, but I pretty much knew why. But whistleblowers get the short end. So I get why they don't want to come out. I mean, they got the wife and kids. I get why they got a mortgage. They've got car payments. They got the wife and kids. I get why they got a mortgage. They've got car payments. They got the wife and kids. But they've got a life too. Who knows? Are they going to risk that life too? Are they going to give up this? Are they going to risk great paying job? I mean, the benefits. Are they going to risk working for the federal government? Sometimes the pay might not be the best, but I tell you what, the benefits. I mean, sometimes the benefits in the long run are way worth it. In the long run are probably the only time the federal government does it good is they kind of actually take care of their employees. But not the military. No.
But not those of the military. We don't take care of the military nearly as well as we should. But not those of the military. We don't take care of the military sleeping on the streets. But not those of the military. We don't take care of still sleeping on the streets. But not those of the military. We don't take care of still sleeping on the streets.
I get so freaking sidetracked. I really need a new damn chair. I really need a new damn chair. But I get it that they've got. We need to have a little bit more protection for these whistleblowers, so they can actually come forward and they can. I guess there are points before, so they can actually. It ends up. We're looking at stuff from 2016, 2017, 2018. It's 2025. This has gone through 2025. Few hands. This has gone through the Department of Justice, through the FBI, through NSA. Department of Justice, through the FBI, through different hands. Through NSA. You were going to have troubles with. You were going to have troubles keeping everything straight. Which is what actually has been. I mean, we heard horror stories of these. Which is what actually has been. Paper shredder horror stories of companies that were pulled up in front of all these government buildings after the election. What were they trying to hide? I mean, the election. But then you see stuff like this here, where it's been sitting there for 6 years. It's stuff like this that they probably could have gotten rid of, and now it's going to probably have some more damning information on it, which is great. Have some more damning information on it, which is great. I don't know. Maybe it's just that they've never thought that they would get. I don't know. Maybe it's just that they've never thought that they would get. I don't know. What do we do? I'll go back to this photo here. Just another one. I go back to this photo here. I love watching. I go back to this. A couple other shows out there that do just a lot of memes. A couple other shows out there memes, and I swear to God, the one meme talking about, we don't watch the news anymore. We get our news off the memes. We don't watch the news. Plain and simple. We get our news off the memes. I ended up getting rid of all my social media back in 2018. I ended up getting rid of all my social media back in 2018. I ended up getting rid of all my social media. So I've been kind of social media. Just off kind of social media. You'd be surprised how much my heart feels so much better not being on some of these things, and knowing that I probably would have been banned anyway, especially with the COVID stuff. Especially with the COVID stuff. I like to get into debates with people, and some people just don't like to debate. I like to get into debates with people talking about different facts. Don't like to debate. Some people really get offended, and fuck you. Some people really get offended, and fuck you. That kind of enrages you at the time, and that kind of enrages you at the time. This is a little bit better. I can get right down. This is a little bit better. I can get right down. It's not to say. I encourage anybody and everybody to watch me. It's not to say wrong. I encourage anybody and everybody to watch me. I might change my point of view. I'm not. I encourage anybody. I'm not perfect. I might change my point of view. Not one little bit if I claim to be perfect. I'm not perfect. One perfect. Not one little bit if I claim to be perfect. Perfect person. That's another different subject. Different person. Like I said, I am well versed in a lot of different subjects. I will get into religions and stuff like that. A lot of different subjects. I will get into religions. I will do different segments probably every day. I will get into religions. Freaking awesome. We live in this great information age. Freaking awesome. We live in this great information age. Freaking awesome. Freaking awesome. Anyway, the memes are great. The CNN said that the shooter in New York. The memes are great. The CNN said that the shooter in fishy story. Well, it looked like a white guy. Well, really fishy story. No, it looked like a white guy. Well, so looked like a white guy. Well, I gotta check our local news here and there. I am going to be checking the Des Moines one a little bit better than Cedar Rapids one. Yeah, we get these things every year. Yeah, we get these things every year. Yeah, we get these parents every year leaving their kids. Parents in their car leaving their kids and
parents in their cars. I don't understand that. In their cars. I don't understand that. In their cars. Maybe it's because I grew up in a different generation. Maybe I just because I grew up every single time, or dad, whoever I was with. Maybe I did the same thing when I had my son. Maybe I did the same thing when I had my son at a very young age. So I did the same thing when I had my son at a very young age. When he was with me, I needed to run in the store, grab a pack of smokes, grab a gallon of milk, or whatever. Even just a little convenience store, grab a gallon of milk, or whatever. He came out of the vehicle, but I'm also a particular one. I don't like letting my car sit there and idle either. I'm also a particular one. I don't like letting a different story should not idle either. I don't like a different story. But then again, also I do remember there were some times, when we were. Then again, also I do remember. Yeah, we got left out of the vehicle for an hour. Then again, also like that. Had the windows down, we got left out of the vehicle for an hour. That's what's dealt with. Had the windows down, we got left out of the vehicle for an hour. That's what's dealt with. Had the windows down, we got. That's a different era. We weren't pussies at that point in time. We got a bunch of. That's a different era. We weren't people that just. Point in time, we got a bunch of. That's a different era. We weren't people that just. Point in time, we got a bunch of. That's a different era. We weren't people. Yes, they're pussies. There's no way if, where, and buts about it. Yes, they're pussies. I mean, there's no way if, where, and buts. He said, I've worked blue collar my life. Whole life I busted my hand. I've worked blue body up so bad. I busted my hand. I took a chain to a face that was. I had no idea how fast this chain was moving, but it was lifting some heavy stuff. Hit me. I had no idea how fast this chain was moving. A couple centimeters up, I wouldn't be here just like Trump. A couple centimeters up, I wouldn't be here creepily enough. But I took a chain to the face and creepily enough. But that was it. We started work at 5 o'clock in the morning. I did this at 6 o'clock in the morning. We started work at 5 o'clock in the morning. I was home. At 6 o'clock in the morning. We started work at 5 o'clock in the morning. I was home. They never gave me a concussion protocol. They probably should have because I slept the rest of the day. They never gave me a concussion protocol. The next day, I went back to work. They never gave me. Well, they didn't give me an excuse to. I went back to work. They didn't even go on like you. Give me an excuse. They said I went back to go back to normal. Even go on like so I make this joke with everybody. Go back to normal. It doesn't matter. I mean, joke with everybody. I can go into the doctor. It doesn't matter. But I can go in the doctor with my head severed off, totally in my other arm. I can go in the doctor with my head doctor probably say, thump, stick your head back on, couple of stitches, now get back to work. Thump, you're fine. You know, and then you got Joe Blow down the street there. Thump, you're bragging about he stubbed his toe, and now he's got all these Vicodin and all this other stuff with him, and now he's got that's not Vicodin after. That's not Vicodin. Every time I've been put on the stuff, it doesn't work. Every time I've been one of my last surgeries, I was given a pretty damn good prescription for surgeries. I was given a pretty damn good prescription for surgeries. I was given a pretty damn good. I didn't even fill it because it just didn't do me any good. So I don't have a problem with that. But as we go back to this, where we leave your kids in the damn. I don't have a problem with that. But as we go back to this, where we leave Walmart's got the signs up as you walk in. We go back to this, where did you leave your kids? Walmart's got the signs up as you walk in. We go back to this, where did you leave your kids? How can you forget that you have your kids in the car? Did you leave your kids? How can you just take your kids with you in the car? Okay, if your kid's going to be an asshole in the store, guess whose problem that is? Okay, if your kid's going to be an asshole, don't let your kids be assholes. Okay, be their parent. Don't let your kids be assholes. Not their friend. Be their ass every now and then. There's nothing wrong with spanking a kid on the every now and then. There we go. I'll probably get freaking trouble for saying that. There we go. I'll probably get freaking trouble for saying that. Also, another little thing about me, I do play a lot of Minecraft. Freaking trouble for saying that. Also, another little thing about me, I do play a lot of Minecraft. Following trouble for saying that. Also, another little thing about me, I do play a lot of Minecraft. Following trouble for saying that. Yeah, I do play Minecraft. That's kind of my my stress relief. I play some Minecraft, listen to my YouTube, play some Alex Jones, my YouTube, Billy Carson, Randall Carlson, my YouTube, some Billy Carson, Randall Carlson. Different people, different interviews. So anyway, different people, different interviews. So yeah, the big thing now we're all up in arms because we're all up in arms. American Eagle has an ad that actually has that looks like a straight light. Eagle has an ad that actually has that looks like a straight. That's not obese. That looks like a straight. That's not obese. Multicolored hair. Not
not obese, multicolored hair, pushing anything but selling jeans. You have jeans pushing anything and a nice ass Mustang. You have jeans. Simple. You'll sell jeans. You have jeans. Simple. You really need to take a look at some of the European commercials from the past because they were simple to the point. You had a half-naked woman walk across stage. You have no idea what the ad was about. But it was for a watch. You have no idea what the ad was about. But it was for a watch. You have no idea what the ad in the ad at all. Anyway, it sells, but now of course it's going to be Nazi propaganda because it sells, but now of course it's going to be Nazi propaganda because person of color, would not buy gay, whatever. Person of color, alphabet soup person to sell these jeans. Well, they've tried it in the past to sell these. They did have, they've tried it in the past to sell these. They did have women on there of color. They did have women on there. Now they're going to go into a different direction. Now they're going to go into a different direction. And guess what? This whole Nazi thing, we're sick of freaking joke. Guess what? If you actually even knew what Nazism was, if you knew what fascism was, if you actually knew what socialism was, what communism was, if you actually knew what socialism was, what communism was, we don't actually teach the truth in these colleges. That's where a lot of this indoctrination. We don't actually teach the truth in these colleges. That's where a lot of this indoctrination. We don't actually teach the truth in these colleges. It's by bastardizing our history. We don't actually teach the truth. Used to be history was written by the victors. Used to be history was written by the victors. Now the history is being written by not by the victors, but by the weasels, the vermin, but by the weasels that are cloaking themselves as teachers, that are trying to bastardize the history, are trying to bastardize the history, make everything look. Are trying to it's destroying. Make everything look. Are trying to it's destroying civilization. It's destroying civilization. At least with this ideology here in the West. You're not seeing this ideology in Russia. You're not seeing Asia. Pretty much all of Asia, for that matter. Asia. Pretty much you're not seeing it in Africa. Asia. You're not seeing this a lot in South America. Asia. You're not seeing this. This is a European North America. This is a European with this whole, especially with greater education, the universities and stuff. And I graduated in '95 at universities and stuff. And I graduated in '95 at universities and stuff. And from when I entered as a freshman in the early '90s in high school, even in 8th grade. 7th high school, we were already talking about 4-year university. So from the late 80s into the mid 90s, 4-year college. 4-year college into the mid 90s, 4-year college. They come to me and I go, I'm going to go to Wyoming Technical Institute. Oh, what kind of university is that? Oh, well, it's a 6-month course teaching you how to work on cars. Is that? Oh, well, and that's when the counselors just turn and walk away. Oh, well, that's when the counselors just turn and walk away. Again, I didn't. I wasn't left with that. That's when the counselors just turn and walk away. Again, I didn't. That wasn't propagandized. Paid to be. That wasn't propagandized into believing this stuff. I wasn't propagandized. Well, my dad was My dad was a psychologist. He even taught. My dad was college, and I would sit in a couple of these classes during the summer. And I would sit in a couple of these classes during the summer. And I'd sit in on these college classes and stuff like that. And I'd sit in on these college classes and stuff like that. Reading some of the psychology that's coming out, especially with this whole gender dysphoria, whole crap that they've got, and I understand that the whole freaking mental health thing. And I understand we are talking a slippery damn mental health. I get it. And I understand we are talking a slippery damn mental health. I get it. My dad got out of psychology in around 2000. It is not the same psychology that he was. It is not even thinking about teaching in 2000 as it is even in 2020, as it was in 2015. And for that matter, they'd already started bastardizing it. We're turning mental illness illnesses into trying to figure out why these mental illnesses into trying to figure out why normal illnesses into that, and then make everybody else around that person feel like the person that has a mental disorder. Feel like, well, that's the person that ass backwards is what psychology is. Well, that's the as far as my understanding. Now, I didn't take any classes. As far as my understanding, but I sure as hell know what psychology actually is. I mean, but I sure as hell know what psychology actually is. That's but I sure as one person I always thought would judge me wasn't that. That's but I sure as one person I always thought grew up God-fearing family, went to church, grew up God-fearing school, God-fearing family, church, Presbyterian church, God-fearing school. I fear Dad more than anything else. He was always watching. He had ways of saying things, and he had ways of saying things, just to let you know that he did not approve ways of saying things, just without saying he didn't approve of without saying he didn't approve of. But then I learned some of that because I didn't approve of. One of my jobs, I had some people underneath me, and I had a way. I pulled them aside with me, and I had a way. Chew their fucking ass, and they'd walk away from the freaking conversation somehow happy, and I'd get the work out of them for a while. Happy. I don't know how it's done. Don't ask me to do that. Don't ask me to how it's done. How to do it. Put me in the situation, and I do it for some weird reason. Put me in the situation, and I do it for some weird reason. Put me in the situation, and I do it for some weird reason. Whoa, whoa. So I kind of want to cut them. I need glasses, guys. So I am old. I need glasses, guys. So I am old. These are blue light ones. I need glasses, guys. So even though I do have blue light ones. I need glasses, guys. So even though I do have blue light ones. What else was going on? Hilarious. This is funny. What else was going on? Hilarious. This is funny. What else was going on? Hilarious. This is funny. What else was going on? Hold back. 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 What else was going on? Oh, I had that mic off. Oh, I had that mic off. I am so sorry, everybody. Oh, I had that mic off. I think we'll redo this later. We'll do this tomorrow. I think we'll redo this later. We'll do this tomorrow. I think we'll redo this. Now, does that sound better? Why am I hearing myself? Oh. Now I should not be hearing myself at all. That's tough. Did I get it? Was that the problem the whole time? Oh my lord. Learning curves, learning curves, learning curves. Anyway, watch this shit. See, she's going to University of Miami, and she got a new endorsement through the NIL contracts. So, and it's an energy drink that, yeah, accelerator. It's another damn. Yeah, I've just had a brain fart there. Another energy drink. Of course, you know, Donald, great president. He's fixated on the Diet Cokes. So, anyway, I think I'm going to wrap this up for today. I've done and embarrassed myself enough. Let's see if anybody watching this. I might end up taking this back down. So, anyway, I will stop there. Let me see if so let's chat. That's that one. If I'm through.